been able to control the play in midfield the way that Maradona has been able to do. And he's hurting England again here. It's a brilliant run. It's one of the World Cup great goals.
Yo guys, welcome back to the 3 Points podcast. I'm joined with, as usual, Marc.
How are you, mate?
We're going to switch up the intro, guys. We actually want to know how we should introduce this episode. We were just talking before this episode actually started, and we have no idea how to intro it.
Yeah.
Because you're a host as well.
Yeah, I don't know. It's awkward, isn't it? I mean,
it is a bit.
We've like perfected our craft as podcasting as like just
feel like
normally
we're getting there.
the confidence, but it's always awkward kicking it off.
It is. But anyway, we'll jump straight into this episode. Pretty much, guys, we want to thank you guys for last week. It was one of our best episodes to date. I feel
a lot of hype all around the
world.
A lot
of hype, audio-wise, the story, just everything. I mean, I don't want to. You can say it, mate. Liam fucking Gallagher.
Yeah.
Liam fucking Gallagher saw it.
Yep.
How do you feel?
Oh, mate, it was good.
We're famous now.
It was very good. Yeah, we're famous, but very good. And I thought, we'll give it a try. We'll tweet him and we'll see if he gets back.
Yeah, what made you tweet him?
Oh, because he sent out a tweet that time, and normally when he
said,
tweets,
what's up, Rastas? Yeah.
And then I just tweeted him back about
my
the pod
man,
because everyone was generating the hype, so I was like, oh, why not? We'll see what happens.
Has to be done. But yeah, before we do start this episode, guys, we do want to say, make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you're leaving a like. We do appreciate all the support. Last episode, like I just said before, absolutely banged it, and we couldn't be more grateful, honestly. Like, for two lads that are just wanting to talk about football and have a good time, it's gone so well so far.
Yeah.
And if you guys stay around in a couple episodes' time, it's going to get even more juicier. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, and what I want to say as well is when we started this thing, everyone thought, this is going to be a
flop.
A 1 episode, 2 episode thing, and we're looking at, I think we've been doing this for about 8 weeks now.
That's insane.
8 weeks, 2 months.
8 weeks, mate.
We've been doing it for 2 months.
Who would have thought on a whim we just started this?
We just started 1 week. We're at the pub. We're saying, you know what, we should start a podcast following week. Episode 1 was out 8 weeks ago, man.
I know. That's insane.
Yeah.
How you been anyway, Marc?
Yeah, not too bad.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, not since our last episode recording. I was at futsal, but yeah, no, other than that, no, been pretty good. What about you? Have you been doing anything recently on the weekends, or
been getting a bit messy? But I'm trying to stay a bit sober this weekend. I'm gonna have a weekend off.
Yeah.
I think we've been hitting the sesh too much.
Hitting the sesh, yeah.
We have to give the sesh a break.
Yeah.
That's how it has to be.
Exactly, man.
But,
Christmas is coming up. You've got to
bank account's gonna get drained.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not looking forward to Christmas. Do you have any idea what you're gonna get people?
No.
Or you just as stuck as I am?
Yeah, just fuck. No idea.
Fuck day.
No idea. But but Boxing Day. Speaking of Christmas, Boxing Day, Arsenal versus Chelsea. We're gonna have to have a special episode for that.
Yeah, if you guys do want to see that, let us know in the comments below, because honestly, we're gonna do it regardless of whatever you say. But it's gonna be a banging episode.
Yeah.
Is there any other thing I forgot? Oh, there is one thing I forgot. So recently we did get shouted out by the Premier League Padder. As much as we shouted them out before, I'm not doing another shout out for them. I'm just saying.
Thank you.
What an honour. Yeah, that was amazing.
That was more than we expected.
Yeah,
we didn't even expect
that.
it.
And if they are watching, to clear up the question they had. Yeah, we are based in Australia, but Marc has no Australian in him, and neither do I. So I'm English, and Marc's more English than he is Australian. So something down for you. I'm from Birmingham. Marc was born here, but parents are from. Where's your dad from?
Mum's from Australia, but she's got like Fijian, I think. Her dad's English, but I did one of those DNA tests.
Yeah, there you go.
It's practically just English in me, but
yeah. So to answer that, guys, we are based in Australia, but we are from the UK. So take it out how you will.
Whatever. Yeah, that's fine. That's cool.
I did really appreciate that. It got me a bit hyped.
More than we expected, and
that's
a cool idea about the crossover.
Yeah, that crossover. I'm down to that. Even if we do like a forfeit, a challenge, maybe like we get drunk on a live stream or something. We just do something a bit different.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
If like Chelsea versus Newcastle, Arsenal versus Newcastle.
I mean, we just versus Newcastle. We're getting into that later
FIFA,
today.
We could do like a FIFA comp.
A little
online.
FIFA comp.
If they play FIFA,
that's a good idea.
We do pro clubs, 2v2 co-op.
If you guys are keen to do something like that, hit us up.
Yeah,
I'll be down for.
We're following
FIFA
you
thing.
on Instagram now.
So yeah.
One other thing, let's although like last episode banged and like everyone enjoyed the arrest story, someone who didn't enjoy it as much who was involved, which is Liam. We kind of understand that we might have
threw him under the bus.
We might have put you in some little hot water with your family, and we apologise. And we're sorry, man. We're sorry, but all is good now. It's out, and
we move.
You just gotta look at it this way. Liam Gallagher knows that you got arrested.
Yeah, and
cool,
I know we talked about it before, but I still it blows my mind. Speechless.
And the league table for us.
Oh yes, move on to that. So our prediction table. Sorry to cut you off there, but before we jump into it, for those who don't know, me and Marc do have a little bit of a table going this season with a bit of a forfeit at the end. Now the forfeit does include either of us wearing either the Chelsea or Arsenal shirt, depending on who of it loses, has to then post it on their Instagram. On all their Instagrams, actually, the 3 points, their own Instagram, and what else was it? Was that it? And wear it on the episode as well. So have an episode dedicated to it. So it's gonna be insane, honestly. But we'll go into the scores of it. Who is winning, Marc?
You're winning 38-32.
I knew that already. I wanted you to say it again.
That's all right. We both got 2 correct results, which is quite good. I don't think have we done that in the same episode? Like I know we've both had correct results before. But we've had
not both of us at the same time.
So I got Chelsea's score correct, 2-0 to Chelsea, and you got United score correct, 1-0, which was a penalty. Was it a penalty?
I think it was. So what games? What games did I get right? Do you have that down?
Yeah, I've got it down. Let me just pull it up. You got West Ham Sheffield.
Yeah.
I don't have the exact score right now. I've just got it written down like this. Fulham Everton, you got right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I made some bold
Chelsea,
predictions
Newcastle.
last week.
None of us got the Tottenham City game right.
I don't think we're going to get that one right.
Obviously, you got the United one right. But yeah, other than that, that's it. And we move to the end of the episode, and we'll make our predictions for next week.
Next week, yeah.
But where do you want to start, man?
I think we start with Tottenham City.
Yeah, go on then.
I've got a lot of talking points about this game, and to be honest, what a great result for Spurs right now.
Yeah, that's a big result for them. Man.
Yeah, I think right now I don't want to. It's not white. London isn't white. It's fucking blue. I know you're gonna say it's red, but it's not white.
Anything but white.
Anything but white. But what a performance though. I feel like Jose Mourinho has definitely got a grips of that team now.
Yeah, exactly. And Bale hasn't even hit like he
hasn't even started, mate. That guy's not even been featured like to their levels. I don't think he even played against City.
No, he didn't. So if they can get Bale involved with Kane and Son,
I'm scared. I am fucking scared. I mean, I watch a lot of football YouTubers, and I think right now, it's safe to say that every team is a bit we're all waiting for them to flop.
Yeah,
pretty much. I'm waiting for Tottenham to choke because they're known for it. But I think Mourinho is definitely a different class. I think the game though. To speak about the game real quickly, I think you have to be honest. City did dominate the game though.
Yeah,
I think that people are not really focusing on that as much. I think we can all focus on how good Tottenham were defensively and how Mourinho set them up and how composed they looked at the back. But when you're talking about City and the chances they create, they just need a finisher. And I think Aguero being out and, he's 33 now, like the guy's not going to be there much longer. Yeah. And I'm not saying that he can't
They need
perform.
to find a longer term solution because at the moment they've had him out with an injury and they haven't been able to replace
22 shots created, like that's insane. 22 shots on shots on goal, and I think something like 10 on target or something along the lines of that. It was a madness, to be honest, how they didn't get a goal. It really blows my mind. I think they missed some big chances. Jesus again had a goal disallowed, or he had a goal disallowed on him that he passed the ball to Rodri, I think it was, and then he used his hand. There was a lot of moments in this game. But I feel like watching Spurs on the counter-attack, especially people like Son. Yeah. Like, what a finish, by the way, through the legs of the keeper. So composed.
Yeah.
For the first goal. And I think right now, Pep needs to start picking up points because as much as I don't think City will struggle the rest of the season, I feel like they need to pick up points from somewhere. And if you're not picking up points in the small games and you're not getting them in the big games either, where are they going to come from?
Yeah. And I mean, you look at it about it's crazy to think. I know it's going to be ironic coming from an Arsenal fan, but a month ago I said to you that it looks like City is struggling to score. They still are. I mean, like they don't score more than about one goal a game. And even in the Champions League when they won the other night, after the Tottenham game, 1-0. It's
one of their worst starts of the season in forever.
I can't remember the last time City actually went out and slapped them like City does,
and did something like did a City performance like
a 4-0,
5-0.
Yeah.
Mate, I remember seeing 5-0 when and I think that like City can still do that. But when you used to watch City play, especially last season, and the season before that, it wasn't if they were going to score, it was when they were going to score.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That was the question.
I think the last time they properly slapped someone was when they played Liverpool, and was Liverpool just crowned champions, and everyone was saying like, "Oh yeah, Liverpool got the hangover."
And I think
that was straight after. That was around the lockdown time. And then since then they've just not been.
It's not shown up. I think people started to realize Pep's weaknesses. I think he is very loose at the back. I feel like once you soak up that pressure and you just hit him on the break, as long as you take your chances, it's pretty much done.
Yeah.
Because City are a team that like to press and they get very almost trigger happy. They get so far forward that their defense. There's so many space at the back. I feel like there's always space in between the midfield and their defense, like the gap between the centre backs and the centre mids. That needs to be addressed 100%. But I have to give credit to Harry Kane again. Another assist, which takes his goal contributions to the season to 14. Not 14, sorry. To 16. He's had 9 goals this season with 7 assists. I think making it now 8. It's funny to say this because in the documentary, for those who didn't watch it, in the documentary he made about he's talking about in the documentary about him being Ronaldo or Messi.
Yeah.
And the fact that we all took the piss out of that to see what he's doing this season, definitely the best striker in Europe, if not the world right now, with stats he's doing. What's your opinions on him right now? I think he's just unstoppable.
Yeah, unstoppable, man. It's just Kane, he's just...
It must be hard for you right now because you don't want to credit them, but...
No.
To be honest, it's not that I don't want to credit them either. You got to understand this, guys. We're on a podcast. I've got to give the devil's advocate to this.
Yeah.
We both can't sit here and fucking trash Tottenham as much as I would sit here and love to talk about how fucking shit they are and have been.
Yeah.
This season, I have to praise them.
Well, that's where Mourinho comes into play now. Tottenham are top of the league now. It's up to them now. This is where Tottenham's down for. They've been top of the league before. They've been in these positions and then they just dip. Now, Mourinho's got the experience. He's won titles before. He knows how to keep him on track. Now, it's up to Mourinho, the Tottenham players, to all come together and hopefully see out that title if they want one. But again, it's quite early to say what's going to happen because this season's been so unpredictable. They can go to play Chelsea and lose 4-0. And it's like...
We do. They do have us on the weekend, and that will be an interesting game. But I'll touch upon that later when I talk about Chelsea. But yeah, again, Spurs were just more clinical this game. I mean, they only had 4 shots, 2 on target and 2 goals. So it just shows you.
Exactly.
And the second goal was coming from Harry Kane assist to Lo Celso, and then just a bottom right-hand corner finish. It was just clean. It just was a clean game from them. Yeah,
exactly. And there was what was it? Mourinho put out a tweet. an Instagram post. I don't know if you saw it, but it was with him and Reguilon.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the Spanish ham. And Reguilon said, like, if we lose, I'll pay for the Spanish ham, £500 worth, 500 quid worth.
My G.
But if we beat City, you have to pay for it. And he put out a post and he was like, a deal's a deal.
Yeah, deal's a deal.
But yeah, that was...
That's actually
that was pretty cool. So it kind of showed, that
shout out Reguilon.
There's a good, chemistry between...
I think, he's had 12 months now with them.
Yeah.
I think you'd be stupid to think that... that's his Instagram post? Sorry, guys, Marc's just showing me. That's funny. That's so good. I think because now Mourinho's had 12 months with them, I think Spurs are definitely playing for him. I think when he was at Chelsea, especially the 05 season when he first came, we backed him. And if you back Mourinho, you get trophies. Look at United. I mean, first season, 1 or 2 trophies. So he's a guy that can win trophies. I think he got a lot of hate after he left United for not because he didn't win the Prem, and I think a lot of people were expecting him to do magic. But it's like, look at this side he had.
Yeah, but I look at the Glazers and I look at Daniel Levy, and it looks like Tottenham is so much more ambitious than.
Oh yeah, I think because look at the stadium they have, mate. They can't sit there and not. If you got the stadium, you have to get the trophies.
And you watch All or Nothing and how
I'm jealous of Tottenham Stadium. I mean, I love the bridge, but fuck me, man.
Yeah,
I love Stamford Bridge, but that stadium is just next.
Yeah, but you see how willing Tottenham are to improve their squad, sort of thing. I haven't seen the All or Nothing of United. There hasn't been one, but. I can kind of see the ambition.
We've seen
from
behind
Tottenham,
the scenes now. We kind of know where they're going.
And there's so many great managers. You can't tell me that Louis van Gaal, Mourinho, they're not great managers. They are. They're competitive. They're hungry. They're doing.
And we're talking about Pep signed another.
Yeah, what did you think
extension?
of that?
I mean, we were talking about that. We thought he might go. I still think if he doesn't get them top 4, which I'm not saying he won't, by the way. I'm not fucking an idiot. I'm sure he will. But if he doesn't get them top 4, I still think he goes. I still think he gets fired. I still think it's not acceptable for City. Yeah. But I think City, and it's a good point I've heard across the board, really, is that he's so much more important to City than City are to him. Yeah. I'll explain why. Since he's come, they've dominated. I know they dominated before as well, but like since he's come, obviously the Pellegrini era, and now they've got him. I think City realised like Pep, we need Pep.
Yeah,
like, Pep's the one to take us. And I'm not saying that he is or he isn't, but I just feel like him signing that contract extension doesn't really mean anything. Don't read into it too much is what I'm saying. I feel like it's a good thing for City fans, and I'd be happy about it.
City is a club that would sack a manager if they wanted to.
Yeah,
doesn't matter regardless. It doesn't matter. Contract, you know?
I feel like they know. I feel like they know what Pep can do, and if they keep him around, what he can bring. And I feel like just because he's having a bit of a blimp right now, don't doubt him. I think Pep's one of the best managers in the league, and he's proven that. So to say that he's not, and I heard True Geordie and a couple other YouTubers talking about how Pep's lost it, and I think it's a bit ludicrous, mate. Yeah. The guy's 100 points with that City squad back in that season, 2017-18.
I still think there's so much pressures on managers to be
think about
every year. Like, you know, they're allowed to have.
Think about the Ferguson era. Like, he had seasons where he didn't win the league. Yeah. And was he automatically seen as a bad manager? Yeah. No, it happens. Exactly. Some teams do
it's like
better.
A player, you know, Hazard had that one bad season.
We finished 10th that season. Next season was our player of the year. Was the players' player of the year, I believe, as well.
Didn't you win the league as well?
Won the league
as
well.
There you go. So, like, managers, I think they get too much. I guess hate and stick and pressure put on them, and people should just chill the fuck out on managers.
100%.
Obviously, you can ask questions and that of like where your club's going and what direction, but I mean, you see some people like they lose a shot game and it's like Pep out or Ole out. I mean, you know, people like Ole, they've been on that sort of decline for quite some time. But, you know, when you have managers that have come in and won you titles and won you trophies, FA Cups, Carabao Cups, League, you should give them, that should give them the respect.
It should give them a lot more at the club than, like, these plastic fans are always saying Pep out or this person out. Mate, there's a reason why he's at your club. And trust me, you saying him out does nothing for your team. I've watched many teams, like even my own team, diss Lampard when we had our bad little shaky start to the season and even the last season, but never once did I ever question him.
Yeah,
I may have questioned decisions, but I never questioned him being at my club. And I feel like a lot of fans can be quite plastic. But in saying that, I think we should definitely move on from that game because there wasn't really much to say. I think it's just simple as Tottenham took the chances, Man City did.
But speaking of that manager thing that you said, you know, it really annoys me because some people that aren't even true fans, they can really cost a manager
their job because I feel like they can create
social media,
social media mentality of like pressure. And I feel like once a club sees, okay, oh my God, look how much hate we're getting.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't think social media affects their decision, but I think it has a part to play. I don't think it's the prime reason.
Because
I don't think they log onto the fucking Man City Instagram and go, fucking Yamundo from Kenya is saying, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think they're worried about him.
Shout out Yamundo.
Yeah, mate, he's repping Kenya.
Big ups to Yamundo.
Big up to the City fans in Kenya. But nah, we'll move on. Yeah. We'll go into the United West Brom game. Not West Brom game.
Yeah, United.
It is West Brom. I'm getting confused. Yeah, the United West Brom game. This game, I was going to really go in on them. I was going to go on United again because it's just another poor performance where they've got VAR just come to save them.
Yep.
But at the same time, they did create a lot. Yep. And I'm going to try to be a bit more nice to them this week. I'm going to switch up my time.
I mean, United ended up beating relegation candidates West Brom, you know.
I'm trying so hard right now.
Big ups to United. Ole's back at the wheel.
Their first win at home this season.
Ole's back at the wheel. A 1-0 penalty against West Brom.
Nah, okay, but seriously.
A win's a win. I mean, I wouldn't fucking complain.
It's their first win of the home at season. I feel like Johnston saved West Brom from it being away more. I feel like the ex-United keeper fucking made some great saves. You see the one against Martial? Oh, right in front of the goal penalty spot. Great save. But yeah, United did dominate. I can't lie. The chances as well. But yeah, Rashford just looked really tired to me. I know he had some good chances and he did play decent. But I feel like, you know, where's James? James hasn't really been featured. I don't know why he didn't start. Especially considering like how, he's young and he's going to be wanting to prove something. So that did kind of confuse me. Again, Pogba is just question marks all around with what's going on with
schedule for the players, it must be really tough.
Oh, yeah. But now that international break's over, it's a lot better. But even now, even still with the European fixtures, it's just a joke.
Yeah.
Like the amount of games they have to play.
But like even like when we played Leeds, when Saka came on at after half time, the commentator said, he's this third game in a week and he got injured.
He got injured. I saw that. And we'll get into that because that was insane.
These players, and for example, when you say with Rashford being tired, they're
you just didn't look. When you watch a player week in week out, and it's not like I watch United week in week out, but I do watch the highlights week in week out. If I'm not watching the full game, so like I can tell when a player doesn't look right.
Yeah,
and it's not that Rashford didn't look 100. It's not that Rashford didn't look right. He just didn't look 100%.
Yeah,
he looked like he was playing at like 85%.
Yeah,
and it just you can just see from the way he was playing. But there's not much to say about this game. It was just really VAR decisions both ends. I mean, West Brom denied a penalty for a very similar challenge that United were given a penalty for.
I've got a question for you. There are two teams left who have not picked up a win yet, which is West Brom and Sheffield.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the first game? Who's going to win that one game before the other?
I want to say Sheffield, but I feel like they haven't done anything.
West Brom have got 3 draws. Sheffield have got 1 draw and 8 losses.
So if you're looking at stats and you're going off the table, then probably West Brom. But if you're looking at the teams as a whole, because I think I'm still like looking at Sheffield from last season. And
they
I
were
feel like,
good last season.
That's what I'm saying. And I feel like I still have this little love for them because watching them come up and, challenge all these big like top 6 clubs last season, especially.
Yeah.
I think they nicked points off us last season as well. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
The season's been very weird for them. I don't know where that's gone wrong, but
yeah,
if I'm saying at the both clubs, I'd probably say West Brom, just because they've, like you said, 3 draws. They've just looked more promising to actually nick a result.
Yep.
Even in this game, they had some great chances they should have scored. I mean, hitting the crossbar, they got lucky with that. It was a fucking beautiful effort that hit the crossbar, and De Gea looked worried. So I don't know. We'll see where that goes, but there wasn't really much to talk about this game. I mean, United looked like United. They didn't look anything special. I mean, Bruno Fernandes again saving them with a penalty, but even then, VAR he saved it, but VAR replayed the penalty because he was off his line.
I didn't bother watching it live because I thought, United, they're versing West Brom. They're not being great.
It's not a
they
fun
should have
game.
been.
Like, I'm not there going, yes, can't wait to watch United.
You can be in
Brom.
such a shambles, but you should still be beating West Brom. And now someone's going to clip this when Arsenal lose to West Brom in a few weeks.
Yeah, or when Chelsea drop points or something.
All right, so I'm going to flack that, but right.
But it really was VAR this game, and penalty given to Fernandes, which I do think was a penalty. I don't think it wasn't. But at the same time, it's the VAR. He came off his line. I understand it, but it's at this point now where it's like, I don't even care if it's the right or wrong decision. It's meant to be clear and obvious, and if it's not clear and obvious, if the refs gave it a penalty, then why are we checking VAR for it? Because the penalty that West Brom got, they should have had.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is confusing. But I don't really want to talk about VAR anymore. I'm done with that conversation. And that game again was just nothing really to talk about. West Brom again missed a lot of good chances, and I feel like they could have. The point was there to be nicked, if that makes sense. Like it was one of those games where you're getting dominated, but you have that one good chance where you could save this result, to go into next week's game and kind of have a bit more confidence, especially for a team like West Brom where every game right now is a relegation battle. I know it's so early in the season to call that, but you've got to start thinking we need to pick up points now because we're 8 games in, and this is where the table starts to shape itself, especially going into like the Christmas time.
Yep.
So it's going to be important for West Brom to pick up points in their next fixture.
Yeah, 100%.
But we'll move on from that game.
Yeah.
We'll go into the. Do you want to go into Everton-Fulham game?
Go on. Then.
That was a bit of an exciting game.
Yep.
Richarlison back from injury, looked absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he's one of those players that when he's on, he's on. Like you see, I don't know if you watched it, but his skill on the wing to get past and then drill the ball in to Calvert-Lewin to get the first goal, mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like Eden Hazard-esque.
Yeah, you can see how much
he makes an impact on that team. Yeah, him and Rodriguez when they were both out.
Yeah.
I mean, Rodriguez, again, just played beautiful football, the way he'd play out to the width, especially to Richarlison for them team to cut in and get balls in. I mean, every link-up goal that Everton did have was just great football.
Yeah.
Calvert-Lewin again getting 2 goals, and he's back on his scoring goals again, which was nice to see.
Scored in the first minute, didn't he?
Yeah, like how did you feel the game went?
Yeah, I thought. Well, obviously, they're playing Fulham. I thought, I didn't expect it to be 3-2. You know,
well, they got a fast return on their first goal when it went 1-1.
Yeah.
So the game did start 1-0, but then Fulham did hit straight back, and
so
they scored a great goal.
I must admit, I wrote Fulham off to be like, this is just
I
thought,
like I wrote them off completely.
Sort of thing.
They put in a fight.
Fulham showed fight, and I think it. You know what? I genuinely think Fulham might stay up this season. I don't know why. Although they're 18th at the moment, I think they're starting to kind of get their feet together. You know, they picked up a win last, a few weeks ago, and then to go and play Everton like that, and 3-2. You know, I think they might start picking up results from here. I don't know why. I think obviously they're going to still struggle against like the top half of the table, but like the bottom half, I think they might be able to kind of
savor it.
Yeah, savor it.
Well, if you look at it, right, so Fulham, they do need to start picking up points, like you said. I mean, it's only one win this season in the 18th.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you're playing a team like Everton, for Fulham, it's a game where you could nick a point, but I don't think they should too on themselves. I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek played really good. It was good to see him on the field because he's on loan right now from Chelsea, and been watching him play. Because I do like to check in on players, especially. You do the same when you have players go on loan. You kind of check in with them.
Yeah.
So that's why I was kind of excited to see how he went. And he got himself a goal, and he had himself a penalty as well, which he's about to score anyway. And he got brought down. So watching him kind of get back from injury and play well again and instilling the confidence in him, I think Fulham was. I don't think it was the best team to go to. I would love to see him gone to Everton.
Yeah.
As much as it's actually a good day he went to Fulham because it kind of helps Chelsea out, as in like we don't have to worry too much about him being an issue in the league like against us. But at the same time, you know, it would have been nice to see him maybe at a different team just to see what he can really do again. I think he would have fit Everton's system really well. Actually.
Yeah.
Especially with the player that he is. And I think I could see him as a striker. I think a couple of ex-players have said, I think when Mourinho was there, he said he saw him more as a striker than he is a midfielder. So it will be interesting to see how Fulham do play out the rest of the season. But I have to give my credit to Everton. They played really good football. I mean, like I've said again, and I'll keep saying it, James Rodriguez, I think he's made an absolute difference in midfield. The way he whips the balls in and just he kind of keeps that like creativeness that I think a lot of teams are lacking this season in the league, such as Arsenal and you know, big teams like Man United. I know they got Fernandes, but still you're lacking that big creative person.
Yeah.
So to have someone like Rodriguez in your team is just world class.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, again, wasn't really much to say about that game. Like to me, it was just a game of like two halves, as in like Fulham really started coming back towards the end, and it looked kind of. I think it looked scary for Everton because they started conceding.
Yeah.
And when you start conceding late, it's like, oh shit, could they nick the winner?
Yeah.
I mean, not the winner. Could they nick the equaliser and like rob us of 3 points?
Yeah, it's written in the script.
But
those sort of things. But yeah,
I think it was 2 for. I think the 2 goals were for Calvert-Lewin, and then who was the other goal from?
I think
Decore. Yeah, that was right. He got a header.
Yeah,
yep, you're correct. And then the 2 goals from Fulham was Ruben Loftus-Cheek and I believe
Reed.
Yeah, there we go. B Reed in the 15th. So yeah, again, the stats say it was really like an even game, and I feel like Fulham definitely were unlucky not to nick a result. I mean, looking at possession, 55 possession. They had more possession. They had more shots than Everton, but they had less on target. So again, a game of 2 halves, a game that could have been taken either way, and I feel like Everton will be happy with those 3 points.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that takes them to 8th or 7th on the table. I think they're now climbing back up to where they were.
Yeah,
maybe
they're 6th.
6th, yeah, there we go. So they're back in the top 6 where they probably should be. But what game do you want to move on to now?
Whatever's next, man. What we got?
Should we talk about the Liverpool-Leicester game? A bit more of a exciting game.
3-0 to Liverpool, yep.
And this is a good game I want to talk about, really, because last week we had a lot to say about this club. Because we really thought this is when Liverpool were going to drop points. Yep. This is when I said Leicester really could make a statement and go top of the table. But I think we've been proven wrong here. I think it shows that Liverpool have a system that you got to beat first.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what their starting 11 is, they've got a fucking system.
Yeah.
And you miss important players out the system, but just, I mean, look at the result.
And that just shows what sort of coach Klopp is. He's such a terrific coach.
Can you talk about Klopp for a little bit for those who don't really understand him? Because I feel like there's a lot of people he doesn't get the credit he really deserves. And as both of us being football fans, we kind of understand, you know, how well he's doing at that club right now.
Yeah. No, he's doing terrific. He built that team up from such a shambles.
You look back from where he came,
and he turned him into Champions League winners and Premier League winners. And man, Klopp's a fantastic manager, and I don't think I have a bad word to say about
even like talking about like I don't know who like decided to sign Jota, if it was his coaching or the scouting staff or whatever, but man, what a fucking start he's having. 4 goals in the Premier League in 7 games, and I think he has 3 goals in a game at fucking Champions League.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, it's honestly Diego Jota. When I saw the 40 million signing to Liverpool, I batted an eyelid. Yeah. I just kind of like blinked to it. No,
yeah.
Like I knew he was a good player. I've seen the
but could he do that? Could he do that in the Liverpool lineup? Yeah,
it's just I feel like when you come into a team like Liverpool and they're already doing so well and they've already hit the ground running for the season. I know they had the shock result against Aston Villa, which still blows my mind. But it's not that. I'm not saying it's not that hard to start well, but when you're in a chemistry in an environment where they're all supporting you and they're all rooting for you, I don't think it is that insane to think that he's had this start to the season. Like I feel like he's just fitting so well.
Yeah.
And I feel like they've all let him in and they're like, come on, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a bit of that atmosphere. So
what did you think of Johnny Evans' own goal?
A bit weird. More because I was like, what is he trying to...
It looked like he was actually trying to score for him.
That's what's confusing. When I watched it back, because he's like headed it off the back of his head.
He looked like he had plenty of time as well.
It looked like he did this. And obviously you guys can't see, but Marc will see it. He's gone like that.
Yeah.
Knock. You know when you nick it onto the back.
He looked like he had plenty of time to...
But yeah, plenty of time. And I know he had a bit of pressure on him from, I don't know who actually was in the box next to him. I think it might have been like one of the other signings. But I don't know, like Johnny Evans, like I feel it's harsh, but at the same time, it's like, that should have been cleared. I don't think that's... I don't know. Corners are hard, though, because it's always deflection.
Yeah.
And the ball's whipped in with such pace. It's a bit cruel to kind of get on him on that. But, yeah, it was a bit of a weird own goal.
But, yeah, I was devastated that Leicester couldn't win because that meant Tottenham...
I mean, yeah, I really wanted Leicester to...
I wanted them to go top of the league again.
But, yeah, I feel like right now Liverpool's front four looks really strong. I mean, Robertson, again, whipping in an amazing ball to Jota to get that goal as well. And I think Robert Firmino as well. I think he's been getting a lot of unnecessary stick as he's not been scoring goals as of late, but in his international side, scored 2 goals for Brazil.
Yeah.
And then, 2 goals for them in the international break, and then coming back, bagging himself a goal. I mean, they didn't even look concerned that Van Dijk or that Salah wasn't there. Oh, Salah was playing, but it just didn't look like they were scared, really. Like, I feel like Liverpool have a system that you've got to beat, and obviously that's 64 games now unbeaten at Anfield, which is a club record.
In the Prem,
in the Prem. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about that. That's an insane stat. I actually didn't look at that stat last week when I was going about my prediction, but I feel like right now right now Liverpool is the side to beat. I still think it is Liverpool City. I don't think you can really sit there and like discredit Liverpool. I think it was an absolutely amazing performance against a team like Leicester, who have been challenging for the top 4 this season, even the number 1 spot and potential title challenges. But I feel like Leicester didn't really show up. I don't think we can sit there and say that Leicester played their best ever game.
No,
I don't think they performed that well. I think that Vardy missed a couple chances. What's his name? Oh, the midfielder. I forgot his name. I always rave about him. Barnes. Is it Barnes?
Might have been, yeah.
I don't know who it is now, but he missed a bit of a sitter as well. Vardy's setting him up. But, overall,
Barnes,
It was Barnes, wasn't it? Yeah, Harvey Barnes, I think it is. But, yeah, it was just one of those games to me where I felt like Klopp has now realised, okay, we've got to start, winning games comfortably again. I feel like that's a comfortable win. 3-0, you're happy with that. I think no goals conceded. There's nothing really to complain about. Yes, you could say, like I just said before, Leicester didn't play amazing. But end of the day, 3 points is 3 points, and I think Leicester look to move now to next week, and hopefully they can pick up a result. Who do Leicester have next week?
Leicester have Fulham.
And who do Liverpool have next week?
They have Brighton. The mighty Brighton and Hove Albion.
Again, this was the game I feel like everyone expected Liverpool to drop points in because of Van Dijk still being out.
I think they've
got so many injuries right now. It's just like this is the game we all thought that.
Yeah, they could drop points, but I think they'll just cruise past Brighton.
I think they will.
And I think Leicester will get back to winning ways against Fulham as well. So, I think both teams. I mean, you're looking at Leicester's point of view.
My bad. Because obviously, like we're a bit weak behind in the results. So Salah's back since, but in that game,
he wasn't playing. No,
I thought so.
Yeah.
So I don't know. For me, it was just one of those things where it's like I know they have Fabinho in the defense and that centre back role.
Yeah.
And I know he suits there perfectly and he plays well. But is that a season long? Like, can you rely on that for the season? They're gonna have to sign someone in the window.
Yeah, in January. But looking at like Leicester's point of view, I mean, you've gone to the champion, gone away. I mean, you know,
I don't think it's something they can be concerned about.
Yeah, exactly. You're playing the champions that were been world beaters for the past couple of seasons. I think, you know, if they'd expected to go in there and smack, you know, I mean, everyone expects to go to Liverpool now and lose, unless you're City, really, because they're just.
I think even City go there a bit worried.
Yeah, because they're just like in a different league to everyone at the moment. Everyone's got to play catch up to Liverpool. It's just whether Liverpool.
That's why we keep saying the season's so exciting, because teams like Tottenham, Chelsea, you know, Aston Villa at the start of the season, Everton at the start of the season, all these teams creeping up there and moving up and down the table, it's making the season more exciting. I think as a football fan, no one likes watching one team dominate the whole season unless that's your team.
Yeah.
If I'm a Chelsea fan and Chelsea dominate the whole season undefeated, I'm happy.
Yeah.
But the rest of the football fans in the league are like, this is boring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it is good to see a lot of teams challenging, and I feel like now we move, and I feel like it's up to Leicester to really, you know, get some points next week. And if they do win next week, that puts them straight back in the race. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see. But I've not really got much anything to say about that game.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to
add?
No,
not really. No, everything's pretty
cool. We will move on to
Chelsea.
The Chelsea game.
Yep.
So first of all, let's put some respect on Tammy Abraham, on Mason Mount, because I feel like, and I say it every week, I see these fucking Instagram fucking fake plastic cunts. I'm calling them cunts. I don't care. YouTube demonetized us. We don't even make any
shout out to the fake plastic cunts.
Yeah, shout out to fucking Jimmy in fucking Poland, who's never seen a game in his
life. What was
the
guy's name? What?
Wayundo. Yeah. I've changed name. Wayundo.
Yeah, that's it. Wayundo.
I know it's Wayundo, but Wayundo from Kenya. He's a Chelsea fan now. But nah, I'm honestly sick of it. Like, Tammy's world class. Well, he's getting there. I'm not saying he's world class yet, but he's playing in a world class like mode right now.
Yeah.
His goals and assists throughout the last season and this season has been untouched. Mount, again, just the way he runs and aggresses the midfield, he just nabs it. That number 8 role he's playing at the moment is just beautiful. I get so excited talking about, you know, I've not been this excited about a Chelsea team in so long. Literally since we won the league, really. Seeing the likes of Werner as well, the change of pace for that goal.
He's a brilliant forward, I think.
The change of pace to be, I think, 1, 2, 3 players, and then slotted through to Tammy, which was a beautiful finish. World class. Yes, did he miss sitters? Of course he did. Was I mad about it? Yes. Because at the time, I feel like he should be scoring those. He had about 4 chances where he should have buried them. And I'm going to give him the shit for it. Like, you should be taking those chances. But if you look at his stats, like I said to you, he scored, I think, in... How many games was it now? I think in like 16 games or something like that. Or I'll get it up now for you guys to get the correct stats, because it's insane. Like, his goal contributions, and I don't want to get it wrong because I want to give the guy the credit he deserves. So in the Premier League this season, 9 matches, 4 goals, 2 assists. In the Champions League, 4 matches, 3 goals. And in the EFL Cup, 1 match, 1 goal. So throughout the whole season, he's played 9, 13, 14 games and had about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 goals and 2 assists.
Yeah.
So 11 contributions in that game. Like, if you're calling him a flop right now, you don't know football.
Yeah.
Simple as.
It's
you
always
you don't know football.
You always have
Don't talk to me about football if you call him a flop. And I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans talking their shit about, oh, well, he doesn't even take his chances, or he's not scoring. Like, mate, where's Uber at?
Yeah.
It's always. I'm sorry, not at you, but like, where's Aubameyang at?
Yeah.
You're gonna talk about us having flops. Well, where's Uber at?
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
There's always that initial phase of when you come to a new league and adapt, and he's adapted
well. I think look at him.
I think
Werner. I mean, look at him. Ziyech and fucking Havertz. They've started
next
well.
season. They're going to be, and I'm not saying that this season's they're not going to be good. Of course, they're going to be good. But once they've had like a full season
together
in the Premier League,
be scary.
Yeah,
bro.
Next season
to see where they go next, and that's what.
And then you've also got Lampard, who's going to say, right, let's address the other weaknesses in the squad, or maybe let's work on the squad depth. You guys are on like the winning. You're building that squad.
We're built for a Champions League title winning, and I don't care. Maybe I'm being very drastic with that. We haven't really come close to Champions League in quite a while, but we're a team right now that's building for success, and I like that because that's what I love about Chelsea. From the top down, from Roman all the way down, there's a love for the club. There's videos of Roman's brother, I think, back in the day celebrating the Champions League. Like, I feel like we're one of those clubs that from the ground up that everyone talks so good about each other. Like, even from the security guys know so much about the team, about what's going on. When you watch the videos, like, do you know when you watch a video of your team training, right, and you see the chemistry and the vibe, and you're like, that's a title winning vibe. That's the vibe I have right now when I watch the training videos. Like, sometimes I watch training videos of other teams, like Arsenal, and like, yeah, they're having fun, but you can tell there's something. They're not all that there. You know, there's something a bit messy in certain teams, and I'm just using them as an example.
Yeah.
Sure that's true or not. But yeah, it's just one of those things right now where I feel like Chelsea are looking very dangerous, and I feel like to not put them in the race for the title this season is just disrespectful. And I'm not going to stand by it anymore. I feel like, you know, I'm not going to get too carried away because we haven't versed a good side yet. And this week, on the weekend against Spurs,
you can go top.
And that's what I'm saying. It will be the decider.
Yeah.
If we beat Spurs, I feel like it's on. Now we can really
please beat them.
Mate,
please.
I feel like it's going to be.
Please.
I feel like we can. I
don't want to see Chelsea win the league, but I'd fucking rather see Chelsea win it than
It's gonna be one of those games again where I fucking hate versus Mourinho because he's one of those cunts. He's so animated that if he does nick a result against us, he will fucking celebrate. But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I just want to talk about a couple of things. Again, Edward Mendy now has 4 clean sheets, which takes Chelsea joint top out of all the club sheets this season. What an impact!
Yeah,
impact.
I want to credit Timo's run towards the Abraham goal.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant solo run.
So fast there.
And the way he controlled that ball and delivered it to Abraham, that was brilliant.
He's a class player.
Yeah, regardless of if he misses sitters, I'd rather him do those sort of, like, at least getting those opportunities.
He's making chances.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask for from a striker. If they're not at least scoring,
and
make chances.
When I was watching back the highlights and stuff like that, Timo Werner was a lot of the time looking to set his teammates up rather than take the shot himself.
Yeah, and that's the issue I have with him at the moment. It's I love that he's selfless.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just want him to be a bit more like Salah and just shoot.
Yeah.
But I think he had 2 squares where he just kind of squared it to nowhere.
Yeah.
I think to a Newcastle player, and I was a bit like, mate, you all through, like you'll shoot.
Yeah. Do you think that's a confidence thing, or do you think he's just?
I don't know. I don't think it's confidence. I think he's in front of goal and he's like, okay, easier goal here. I think it's like. I think he thinks the best option and the easy option.
So you don't think he's like, I don't want to fucking miss this here.
No,
someone
when
else
I watched
take
him
it.
at Leipzig, he was very unselfish.
Yeah.
Like he took his chances, but at the same time, when he was in front of goal and he had a player to his right, he would square it.
Yeah.
He's a player that likes to get the easy goal.
Yeah.
And maybe that is a confidence thing. Maybe he doesn't believe in himself all the time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that could be worked on. But again, Newcastle look poor. I think like right now you're worried because like Maximan is such a creative player, and I feel like they're not getting the best out of him. I had a couple chances, but yeah, they just didn't look good really. I feel like they got run into the ground. I feel like Chelsea overall dominated the game, and we should have had more. I think we missed so many chances and so many good saves really as well. The ball at Ziyech whipped in an amazing ball to Tammy for a header that was a beautiful save.
Yeah.
And again, Ziyech, just what a beauty to watch.
Yeah.
I think he's come into the Premier League. I've never seen a player hit the ground running apart from Jota and apart from Fernandes. Like, there's a couple of players that have done it this season, but Ziyech just assist king, man. Like, that left foot, it must be made of something.
Yeah.
Goal, like legendary status.
Yeah. So looking forward, what do you think is going to happen against Tottenham? Give us a prediction at the end of the pod, but
I feel like...
Do you think you guys can...
I feel like we will win the game. I feel like it can either go 2 ways. Either Mourinho will come out and surprise us and play a bit more attacking football and maybe try to put Chelsea on the back foot, or it will be a standard setup that we expected against Man City where they'll come out very, very patient, very controlled, very defense, and they'll soak the pressure because they know Chelsea love possession. They know we love playing that game. But I feel like this season it's not going to work sitting back because Ziyech knows how to unlock those low blocks with those balls in.
Yeah.
And I feel like now with Tammy up front that we've been playing with, and I think that's the big question right now is like Giroud again did well in the Champions League, scoring us the winner against Rennes, and I feel like now does he get a call up to maybe start? I feel like it'd be a bit ludicrous to maybe start Giroud on the weekend, but I feel like to have him on the bench is so important. He's such a world-class player, Giroud.
He's an impact sub,
I think we can both talk about being at both clubs, but what a player he is.
Yeah.
And it'll be nice to have him involved in the squad a lot more because he's going to be very pivotal. I can't even say the word.
Pivotal.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
For us to win the league this season. So, you know, on Tottenham with them setting up, I think they'll set up deep. I feel like Chelsea will attack. We'll have a lot of chances, and I feel we'll win the game because I don't think they're going to be able to stop us. I think they can. And I am worried about. I am worried. I'm fucking freaking out a little bit because it could be a game of like Man City where we have so many chances, but Werner just isn't hitting them. But if Werner finds the back of the net, Ziyech is feeding those balls into Tammy.
Yeah.
And Mason Mount's being a fucking workhorse, and Kante's just playing well. I feel like And Silva's back because he got back so late from the Brazil game. That's why he couldn't feature against Newcastle.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a proper starting lineup back. I am fucking excited. It's going to be a game to watch.
Yeah.
Probably the game of the weekend, I'd say.
I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a big game. I think you're going to win it.
I just keep repeating myself, but what a team we're building. Like, I feel like everyone right now is like kind of paying attention to Chelsea now because like, I think the last season, obviously, people kind of count us out. We had Lampard. We had a very mediocre youth team. But even then, we finished 4th, mate.
Yeah.
So, like, does that not show you that Lampard's decent enough to get us 4th place when, like, teams like Arsenal and all that... And I know they had Arteta come in. Obviously, had Emery, all that shit going on.
Yeah.
But it's like, look at all the other so-called top 6 clubs that have been struggling and look at where we are.
Yeah.
In only a year.
Yeah.
Of having Lampard there. And now this is his 2nd year. I do feel like now it's one of those things where if we don't get top 4, will be the most embarrassing season for Chelsea ever. Yeah. But I'm not even worried about that.
Yeah, you think top 4's
top 4 is guaranteed. I'm not going to say it like that because I don't want to get clipped. But at the same time, nothing's guaranteed in life. But I feel like top 4 now is our focus 100%. I still think it is top 4, but we should definitely have our eye on that fucking Premier League.
Yeah.
And if not, the Champions League, mate, why not? Why not challenge for everything? We have such a deep squad. And I think Giroud needs to start more. It's disrespectful. Put some respect on Giroud's name.
Yeah.
Lampard, I know that, like, I don't want it because I don't want Giroud to go in the summer. Yeah. Not the summer, the winter. Summer for us, but, the winter window for them. The January window, sorry. I just don't want him to go. Yeah. Because I feel like he's so important for us in terms of, like, what he's teaching, the likes of Werner and Tammy, the impact he has in the dressing room. Yeah. He's a World Cup winner, mate. Yeah. Do you know how important that has to happen? Yeah. You've had Ozil, obviously, but the difference between those two players is a lot. Yeah. Like, Giroud is a natural leader. I feel like he's a type of person that can grab a team by the back of the neck and say, let's fucking go, come on. Yeah. And he's a very supportive player. I feel like I think people are trying to make an issue out of nothing about him being on the bench. I don't think he does like being on the bench. No player does. Yeah. But, yeah, there's not really much to say. I feel like it was a good performance, 2-0, and, I'm happy with it. Yeah. Should we move on to the Arsenal Leeds game?
Go on then.
I'll let you break this one down, obviously. Go on.
Obviously, it's another game where Arteta's trying to figure out what he wants to do with the club, what he wants to... I still don't think he has a system that he's settled on. Yeah. For once, we kind of went out, it looked like we played a 4-2-3-1, I think we played, with Willock behind Aubameyang.
You finally played Uber down the centre.
Down the middle as well. And... although we weren't doing too well before Pepe got sent off, it sucked. You had a chance. It sucked that the chance when we tried a new formation that the fans are like begging for is the time that we have a player sent off, and then we have get to enjoy. We have to revert back to that negative tactic. Again.
Well, actually, let's sorry. Yeah. Let's jump into that right now. I was when I watched the interview, the post-match, with Arteta talking about the game, I wasn't happy with the way he handled the Pepe treatment. And obviously since Pepe has come and scored against Molde last night, because he's filmed quite late. Yeah. But before that had happened, that result, I sat there and I thought, is that the right thing to do? Yeah. And I was really interested to hear your opinions on it. So how do you feel like that incident went, and what was your thoughts on that whole thing about him airing him out pretty much?
I think there's always
the media.
You always need to protect your players ahead of social.
Because Wenger was known for
that. Especially in front of the press, because the press in England, they're pretty scummy, the way they write up about you. If,
articles,
if anything happens, you can berate them as much as you want behind the scene, but when it comes to the press, you just have to say, what's happened's happened. We'll speak to Pepe, we'll deal with it internally, and we move forward. That's all he should have said, rather than sort of scapegoat him as the reason why we didn't get a result. Well, we got a draw, but the way we were acting as if like Pepe was the reason, and he made it difficult for us. He made it difficult for the team. We were already struggling with 11, let alone fucking 10 men. But it wasn't just Pepe's fault.
It was a red card.
It was a red card, 100%. The way Alioski went about, acting about it was disgusting.
That's not talking about, because that is disgusting. And I mean, I know why he's done it. It's obviously getting sent off. And I'm not saying I wouldn't do the same, but I sit there and I just go, yeah, you're just a scum.
Yeah, regardless of if he went down or not, VAR would have checked it and said, right, he's gone to headbutt him. That's violent.
The violent intent. It's all about the intention.
He would have been sent off. There was no need to go down like that. We got VAR now for players.
You can just turn around and go, oi, like, you have to dial to the floor.
Check VAR, but Yeah, I was. I did question Arteta's treatment of Pepe ahead of the press. I expected him to grill him in the dressing room, of course, but I didn't think he would, put Pepe under the spotlight like that. You know what I mean?
So do you feel like right now Arteta's biggest issue is chance creation? Because I know that before the Molde game, you guys had only scored 1 goal in 5 games, and that was coming from a penalty.
Oh, I mean, no, we've been scoring quite a bit in the Europa League. So.
Yeah, I'm talking about in the Prem.
In Prem, yeah.
But 1 goal in 5 games, and obviously the Prem, and that was coming from the penalty against United, I believe. What do you feel the issue is? Is it the formation? Is it just getting used to the players? Like, what's going on?
We're not a team that's going to go out and sign 4 or 5 players that we desperately need. We need so much.
We're not going to keep saying every week.
I'm happy with the defence at the moment. I'm happy with it. Touch wood. We need to replace eventually David Luiz because he's 34 now ish,
and he wants to become a manager. He's made that clear in his career.
Partey, that's a signing. I'm happy with that. We need to replace our midfielders. We need to get another striker. When I mean midfielders, I mean like Xhaka, Ceballos. They're not those players that are going to take us to the next level. We need to go out and sign these players, but the board and the club aren't willing to go out and spend that money like, say, Chelsea or Liverpool, that they say, right, we know we need 3 or 4 players. Yeah. Go out and get them.
You mean at once? Yeah. Because to be fair,
we go out and sign a player a window.
Yeah.
A player a
window. He has spent 300 million in the last.
But it's like a player a window. Partey, obviously, he's been injured. We've really missed him already, although we've only had him a couple of games. It would have been good not to have brought Saka on because he's done so much work for England, getting a couple of player of the matches for England. But he came on, got injured. I don't know to what extent his injury was. But yeah, then there was a Tierney, Xhaka, and Alioski thing at the end where they had a bit of a
KT for captain.
Yeah, got kind of handbags and heated.
Well done to him. Back to his teammate though. Yeah, and I respect that.
Yeah, and he questioned Xhaka for going up and hugging Alioski.
Because he's got, you know what it is, and I think this is why a lot of Arsenal fans love him. He's got that old school player mentality of like, we're enemies on the pitch. I don't care. Like, on this pitch, after the game, all good.
Yeah.
But like, on this pitch right now, we are not friends. Yeah. I don't care if the full whistle's gone until we took our boots off and we're in normal shoes. Then we can have a chat.
Yeah, exactly.
But until then, you and me, we're not friends.
I still think, and I've been saying it for weeks, I still think that Arteta should be rewarding these players based on form. Willock scored so many amount of goals in the Europa League and got an X amount of assists. And he just doesn't make it in the Premier League squad. Eddie Nketiah, Lacazette missed a lot of chances against Molde. Balogun comes on, takes 1 chance, scores. So instantly, I don't say put him in the starting 11, but put him on the bench at least. Because he's proven he can score.
Yeah.
I think we're carrying too many players that aren't performing week in and week out, and it's about time that we go, right, if you don't want to perform, you're fucking out the squad. All right? 100%. Another youngster will come in, and they'll go, right, I've got my chance. I need to impress if I want to keep this position. That's what I think. I think we are really lacking that, that position where we're kind of like we're battling to get multiple players that are trying to get into that first team. It's a given. Anyone can say, right, Lacaz's going to play. No matter how bad he is, Willian's going to play. No matter how bad he is, he's going to play. We've got so many good youngsters coming through that are playing well in the Europa League, the League Cup, that it's like we're not doing any. We can't do any worse.
It's like you can't do any worse. So why not feature
them? Why not give them a chance?
Why not give them that chance to shine?
We had Willock playing in the Premier League. Obviously, he had to come off when Pepe got sent off. So again, a lot of these things when Pepe came off, a lot of the things that Arteta finally caved in to do, he's had to revert back to the 3-5-2, bring on the usual people where you have Ceballos come on, you have
to give that more defensive support, obviously. So Saka, to be honest, he did miss a weird one-on-one. I don't know what, he kind of fucked up a little bit. Took it too wide, kind of brought the keeper out, but then didn't really, took too long on the shot, really.
I think that's the one thing that I have a problem with Saka is just his final product. I mean, he's got
Sterling,
he's brilliant with his delivery,
brilliant
and all
wing play, but
he just needs to work on his finishing.
And I think like a lot of players on the wing struggle with that, such as like Hazard when he first came. He bagged goals, but he didn't finishing wasn't always there. Sterling obviously always struggled with finishing. So I hope Saka does develop to the point where he feels comfortable enough to take all those chances when he does get them. But I'm going to try to come from Leeds' side quickly.
Yeah, man.
Give that little bit. I thought they played really well.
Yeah.
Good football. I think Bielsa's... We know when we see Leeds, they're going to attack. They're going to play their football. And the stats show they dominated you guys on the stats in every department. But obviously, again, red card. It changes the game.
I must admit, I think after the third time they hit the post...
They're going to score.
After the third time they hit the crossbar, I was literally sitting there laughing. I was thinking, like, the Leeds fans must be sitting there throwing their
the crossbar
bottles.
was your man of the match. Leno as well, he got a team in the week from his performance. But, Bamford had some great chances. Leno saved you guys, and then obviously you didn't help Saka missing the one-on-one. But it was very unlucky for Leeds not to score. So many... Even the last minute they hit the crossbar, it was insane. It was actually one of those games where, it was so exciting for the wrong reason.
Yeah, but even it
was exciting for the red card,
Gary Neville summed it up perfectly when he was commentating that, although it was 0-0, it was very exciting. It was an exciting match to watch. Yeah. Both when Arsenal attacked and when Leeds attacked. Obviously, more so when Leeds attacked. But it was not just a dull 0-0. There were chances there for both teams to take, but they just wouldn't take him. But look, I take the point. I'm not going to get on Arteta's back yet.
So you're not Arteta out?
No,
not just yet.
Yeah, he's coming. He's won a trophy already. That's given him a bit more time. I want to give him at least a whole season to see what he can manage to do. Again, he needs to. I think he's going to sign a midfield window. We'll see what happens. I think we could maybe turn things around against Wolves. The turning point, and I'm going to say this now, the turning point between Arsenal where the fan base is going to split is if we get slapped against Tottenham. If we lose, that's fine. But if we get hammed
6-1,
if we get hammed 3-4-0, that's when there's going to be a split where the casuals will be like, we need him out, and the other guys are going to be like, look, let's just give him a bit more time.
The casuals are always going to be the bigger majority than the diehards.
Yeah.
There's always more casuals than there is real fans.
Yeah.
Just because of how social media has promoted them and how teams are in the Prem.
People forget of what a state Arsenal left us in as a club. Although we were still playing great, we were falling out. Emery came in. Yeah,
he didn't leave. Arsenal left in such a toxic turmoil place.
Yeah, and the squad was all over the joint. We didn't have that. We didn't even have a team. People go, "Oh, we can't finish in top 4," but we don't have that team to finish in the top 4.
I think Arteta needs way more time than what people are really giving him right now.
Yeah, so I think give him this season, see where we finish. I don't think top 4's not out of the question just yet. It's too early. It's not as if we're 6-8 points behind top 4. I think we've had a couple poor performances. I think if Arteta can work them through. No one thought Arteta would take us on to win an FA Cup. We've beaten Liverpool a few times. Beaten Chelsea, beaten City.
So you're pretty much saying, let's take a step back. Let's not forget what he's done.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Lampard hasn't won a trophy at Chelsea yet.
Yeah, so I think, we just got to give him time. He's inevitable. He's learning. It's inevitable that he's going to have that dip. And I just hope that we get out of that dip quicker, sooner rather than later,
Easy. Should we move on?
Yeah, what are we going to do? Other games or are we going to go on to prediction?
We'll move on to the Aston Villa-Brighton game, and then we'll sum up the last couple of results because we didn't watch it. This game I actually did take an interest in.
Yeah.
Pretty much this game, to me, is a game that I think was a much-needed 3 points for Brighton.
Yep.
But at the same time, I think Aston Villa, these are games, what confused me about this side right now is they're so inconsistent.
Yeah.
You go and beat a team like Liverpool, and you go beat a team like you go get these results. I can't think of the top of my head who they beat, but you go get these results, and at the same time, you drop points against teams that you should really be beating. You know what I mean? If you're beating a team like Liverpool, I know it's a freak result, but at the same time, they have the quality. You look at Watkins, look at Grealish, just look at Barkley. Look at how all these guys are playing this season. You should be bagging more. And I feel like it was really there for Villa to take that game. But what a game from Brighton. I think Welbeck played really well, which was interesting to see. He had a great finish. It was just such a good finish.
I've always rated Welbeck. Yeah, I've always rated Welbeck in the
one-on-one. He's so quick. I didn't realize how quick he was. He bursted down that
He's
line.
one of those players that's just so 50-50. He's so inconsistent. But when he does pull off some, he can pull off some worldy goals and he can step up. But the career what Welbeck could have had if he'd have just been a little bit more consistent and taken his chances.
I feel like he had injuries as well, though.
Yeah, he did.
Injuries as well? I feel like he got injured quite a lot.
But he couldn't kick on it United, couldn't kick on it Arsenal. as an Arsenal fan, I'm not sure about United, how they perceive it, but he did step up a few times, and it's like, but then again, he did miss a lot of sets. He's very much like Lacazette to me.
Yeah, and then...
But Welbeck, a baller.
And then we had a penalty again in this game. VAR checked it, and then I think it wasn't given because the follow-through wasn't there, which I have to agree with. So do you know how that rule works? If not, I can explain it to you. So pretty much what happened was there was a ball in the box. I can't remember who the players was between. But how the foul happened is when the leg got swung, he hit the ball first, like tipped the ball, took it around it, but then he connected with the shin pad, right? And the player dived. It wasn't given a penalty. I feel it was the right choice, mainly because, right, when the follow-through happened, if there's no intent to hurt the player, but you've took the ball and you follow through, accidentally hit the player, it's not a penalty. It's just how it works, right? So it was the correct decision. But this is where it comes back to the clear and obvious. At the time, it looked clear and obvious that it was a penalty.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Like it was a penalty.
Yeah.
And the ref called it a penalty. But it was because he checked VAR that he saw that it wasn't. And it wasn't because it was a clear and obvious error. It was given. So that... Why is VAR being used? Because it's not clear and obvious.
Yeah.
They had to watch it again for ages, bro.
Yeah.
So, like, that to me doesn't make sense. I know people are going to agree, say it was the right decision because they didn't deserve the penalty. But at the same time, there's going to be some people who think they did deserve the penalty.
Yeah.
So, again, there's not really much to say about this game. I mean, it was a good game. Solly March got in a back post finish, and then Eric Conzer as well getting on the score sheet, and Welbeck as well. So, 2-1, I feel like Brighton are happy with that result, especially against a Villa team right now with the way they're playing their football. I mean, Villa, again, to me, they look strong. Like, I dead set think it was there for the taking. I feel they just weren't clinical enough, really, and they didn't take their chances when they had them. And it's such an easy thing to say when you're dissecting a team, but when you see the likes of the way that Grealish is playing, it's like you expect him to do more.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and then Tariq Lamptey had a bit of a nutter in the last minute.
Yeah.
Getting sent off.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a bit weird. Like, I don't know, that player is so aggressive and he's so small. Like, I love him. But it's a good result for Brighton, and I think that it kind of saves their season a little bit. I'm not saying they've been playing bad this season. Yeah. But if you do look at the Premier League table, I think where are they sitting in the table right now?
They're 16th.
And again, so that's something that saves them that point. Do you know what I mean? Like that 3 points takes them. It saves them from like teams such as Sheffield and the other teams that are struggling right now that they haven't got those wins. You're taking yourself higher. Yeah. So, yeah, it is interesting. Did you watch the game by any chance?
No, I didn't.
Really?
No.
You didn't see it? No. Yeah, so pretty much Aston Villa now, they're looking strong. I mean, you're 7th. You're not complaining if you're a Villa fan, but it's one of those teams, if you win that game, you go 18 points and you're sitting 4th. Yeah. Or 5th, depending on goal difference.
4th, because they got 8 goal difference at the moment, yeah.
Exactly. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those games where if you beat a team like Brighton, who has, like, it's a winnable game. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one.
It's those games where that's the difference between, especially with like these no fans at the moment, this is where these mid-table sides who are thinking they're going to maybe finish top 4 after a good start, they kind of finally see the difference in the squad quality. It's not just about on the pitch, it's mentally as well.
Mentally, how these players react,
to be consistent and to beat these teams that are a lot less than them, you know what I mean? So, yeah, 100%.
But, yeah, we'll move on to the next game. Pretty much the next 3 games, I didn't watch it all, so I pretty much don't.
No,
I watched the highlights, but I can't really talk on the game itself. Because, like I said, I keep it 100. We keep it factual here.
Exactly, man.
We don't have to make up things up. So the last 3 games I didn't talk about was Burnley Crystal Palace, which was a 1-0 win to Burnley. Chris Wood scoring in the 8th minute. What a beautiful goal that was. And then we had Sheffield versus West Ham, which was a 1-0 to West Ham. Sebastian Haller with the 56-minute goal. And then it was, 13 games without a win now for Sheffield. Yep.
And Burnley picked up their first win of the season.
And Burnley obviously picking up their first win. So, and against a Crystal Palace side that has been very inconsistent as throughout the years, but that's a big win for them. Yeah. And then we'll go into the Wolves-Southampton game, which I've got to give credit because I watched a lot of the highlights of this game, and McCarthy played amazing. Literally kept them in this game. Theo Walcott had a great tap in, but he should have had 2. He missed a 1-on-1 with the keeper. Yeah. And I think that we've always talked about him. I know at the end of Arsenal he was banging in the goal. But like he's always had finishing issues. Yeah. Like, he's never been a prolific striker. He's never been a prolific finisher.
The real thing with Walcott was just he was quick. And a winger,
and it's funny because like he was rapid. Like he was like I remember back in the day, I know I'm talking about FIFA stats and obviously they don't really relate that well. But do you remember back in the day it was like 96 pace on
he was insane. Like
FIFA
13, 12.
Jesus. But so
he was insane.
But yeah, and then it was Neto in the 75th minute leveled the game to make it 1-1. And yeah, that was all the Premier League games this season, which makes the Premier League table looking like now with Liverpool top, I believe. Oh, no, sorry. Tottenham top. Is it Tottenham or Liverpool?
No, they're equal points, but Tottenham but goal difference.
Because I was just guessing off the top of my head. I want to see if I was right. So what is the table looking like?
Tottenham top 20 points, Liverpool top second 20 points, Chelsea third 18, and Leicester fourth 18.
Yeah, that's insane.
Southampton 5th, 17, 16, 15, 14, 14, 13. Yeah, I'm so glad that this season we're 9 games in and like it's still like so open.
You can still
if
you get 14, 16, if you get 2 wins, you see like a team list.
Rather than Liverpool played 9 and they've got 27 points, and then the next team have got.
Oh yeah, that's why. So Tottenham have gone top due to goal difference. I talked about that before. But yeah, so do you want to go into the predictions?
Yeah, go on then. All right, I'll read them out to you, and
I'll give the predictions. All right, go on.
Palace Newcastle.
Oh, this could go either way, you know. I'm gonna say 1-1.
I'm gonna say 1-0 Newcastle.
Okay.
Brighton.
Liverpool will win 3-1.
I'm gonna back you there 3-1. City Burnley.
2-0 to City. I don't think they'll smash them, but I think, they haven't been scoring many goals this season, so I'll say, 2-0.
I'm going to say 1-0.
Okay.
Everton Leeds.
I'm going to go upset here. I think Leeds might win 2-1.
2-1?
Yeah.
I reckon it's going to be 1-0.
Okay.
West Brom Sheffield United.
Oh, so this is going to be the tough one. Bit of a voice crack there. I'm going to say West Brom 1-0.
I don't know what I'm going to say 1-0 to West Brom.
Okay, same as me. All right.
Yeah. Southampton versus United.
United to win 3. No, sorry, I take that back. United to win 2-1 as well.
I'm going to say 1-0.
Okay.
Chelsea Tottenham.
2-0 Chelsea.
4-1 Chelsea.
Woo! All right.
I think the elephant tree.
I hope it does.
I think you guys are going to be clinical, and I think you guys will start off early and quick.
That's why I think we'll be 2-0. I think we'll score early, and then I feel like the game will change a lot, and it'll be a very even game, and then I feel like we'll bag another goal in the late. I think Werner will score, and I think if I can predict the scorers as well, have a little guess. I reckon Werner will score, and I reckon Mason Mount will score.
Nice. I reckon Shaw will get one.
Okay.
Yeah. Arsenal Wolves. I'm going to say quickly, 2-1.
Okay, Arsenal Wolves. I'm going to say 1-0 to Wolves.
All right, Leicester Fulham.
Leicester 3-0.
I'm going to say 2-1 to Leicester.
Okay.
West Ham versus Villa.
Ooh.
I'm going to say 2-2.
I'm going to say 3-2 to Villa.
3-2 to Villa?
Yeah.
And that's the predictions.
And that wraps up those Premier League predictions.
And we come back next week and we see who's...
that's the thing. Guys, this week, when we come back for the next episode, there's going to be so much that's happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, the table's going to be looking a lot different.
Yep.
Chelsea could be top.
You're either going to be crying or you're going to be
you either get a very happy Luke or a very, very fucking sad Luke. But either way, we do enjoy you guys listening.
And we all love a bit of Luke.
Yeah, we do. All need a bit of Luke. We love me ranging. Yeah. But thanks, guys, for listening to this episode. Before we finish off, we want to, as the 3 Points podcast, we want to pay tribute to Diego Maradona. Oh yeah, oh my god, I can't believe I nearly forgot about that. Yeah, who passed away. That was sad. Midweek, due to a heart attack. Can I just talk a little bit about him? Because I had it written down, but I fucking totally blanked my mind. Yeah. Do you remember like the thing that got me into football? Right, is obviously like I didn't grow up in that era, but like when I was younger, all I remember was like watching YouTube highlights of like football players. Yep. That's what I did as a kid. Like I just watched. Like I didn't have Sky. I lived in Australia. I couldn't really watch the games, so I'd watch highlights. And I just remember like watching Ronaldinho, Maradona, like all those players like Lineker, like all the OG players, man. Like because that's what all kept come off my YouTube. And I'd sit there and I remember watching Maradona just juggle and like I think you put it on your thing actually. The warm up. Yeah. And then there's this clip and Lineker talked about it, but I want to talk about it as well because I remember watching this and it's just like he just the way he can control the ball. and like kick a ball up. Like it's insane. That guy had such a touch on that football. It was insane. And obviously he had his issues with like, you know, he loved the old coat.
Yeah.
He loved his antics, and I feel like he's a player that is so legendary that no matter what he did off the field, I'm not supporting, you know, if he did the bad stuff, but like, look at the game against England. Hand to God, and then scored a goal of the century in the same game. Which everyone forgets that second goal due to that first goal being so controversial. But that second goal, guys, from his own half to beat every single England player on a pitch, like Lineker said, was so terrible.
Yeah.
Like it was shit, mate. And this is back in the day when the balls were heavier, the boots were clunkier.
Imagine if he played in these pitches.
Imagine playing these pitches with these football boots in his prime, mate. This is why I say like Messi is like my all-time GOAT of football, but if you're asking me like who's better in their prime, it'd probably be Maradona because he won a World Cup. He has 10. I think he had 10 contributions in the World Cup in 1986, and no other player's done that since. So, yeah, rest in peace, Diego Maradona, legend. You're the reason why that I wanted to play football and wanted to be a skiller and wanted to be like a striker.
You know
really,
what? Even if you're not a football fan, like even before I started supporting football, Maradona was just a household name.
He's a household name. Like, you know who he is.
You know, you don't.
Even if you're not a football fan, if you're even if you're like a sports fan, he's like the Michael Jordan. Like everyone knows who he is.
He's Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. He's one of those names alongside Pele and
do you see Pele's Instagram post? It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
He's like, hopefully we get to play football in heaven one day. Yeah.
But yeah, no, big tribute to Diego Maradona.
But yeah, we do want to celebrate it in.
But
I'll have a drink to that.
Hopefully,
drink to my boy.
Rest easy, Maradona, and all right. Well, we'll end that podcast on that note, and
we do thank you guys for listening, and like, keep showing the support, keep smashing love. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the 3 Points Podcast Instagram because we're gonna post some good content on there this week.
Do you want to plug the email as well?
Yeah, don't forget the email, which is at the3pointspodcast@gmail.com, but it's at the3, so it's THREE points. So. Apart from that, guys, tune in next week, and
Thanks, lads.
We'll catch you later. Bye.